going to teach you some self-massage for your forearms. You need some oil or cream. I'm moving to cream because the castor oil is a little thick and viscous. So I'm going to use, this is a nice cream by the way. It's called Utterly Smooth. It was used for cow udders. So I think it's good for us too. Bless you, right? Oops. Flexors. So this is for the flexors. Get a towel, and I would use your counter if you can. The bed, if you tie it to the bed, it's going to be too soft. This is a little soft for me, but you start. And a lot of glide is really important. When you're doing the self-massage, work closer, use your flat elbow. Come closer to here, don't use down by the wrist, because then you have to work too hard. But get up and use more from here down. Now, what you want to add in to make it even more effective is active movement with your fingers. So as you scoop down, move your fingers. Play the piano. Don't hurt yourself. You can go up also, and be careful down on the wrist place, okay? Don't go so deep. You probably will have to change the amount of pressure that you're using when you get closer to the wrist, okay? If you bend your elbow, you can get a little bit more the side here. If you bend this arm, now I can get this side a little more. Okay. So I would do movement of the hand as fingers, but also as making circles. It's another way. It just gets different muscles in a different way. Okay. So that gets the flexors. Getting the extensors is much more difficult in this position. You could just take your hand, which is making you work. You might take the side of your hand. Again, it's still making work, but there's less surface area, so it's deeper. If you have the flexibility of your shoulders, you could use your lower part of your forearm. And then again, I would play the piano move and get this part too by coming onto your elbow. So I've just flipped my hand over so my palm is down and I can get the extensors a little better. So, but if you don't have the flexibility, I can't do it on this side because I have a shoulder issue going on. So when I have to do my forearm extensors on my own, I actually use a door frame or the edge of a counter. So we will have to go find one. Okay, so I'm using a corner. You could use the edge of a door frame. This one just doesn't work there. I could take some cream and do it this way. So I'm using this. It's a little sharp though. So what I'm gonna do is wrap it in a towel and use my body. Maybe I should do this side.
Oh.
No, I can't do that. So now I lean into it with my body weight. I can wiggle my fingers. I'll take the towel off to show you. So I don't know if you can see that I'm moving about 2 inches or 1.5 inches over the muscle, okay, rather than doing a full glide. I'm doing just a little bit here and there. And if I want more pressure, I just lean into it with my body. I also, again, would say use some active movement while you're doing it. And that just static pressure and lean in. Static pressure and then play the piano. Or figure 8, Okay. The other place you can do it is on your counter. You would be just stripping on down, again, as you move your hand, and fingers, I should say, and getting pressure that way. Okay, so this is a strange one, and because I'm going to have you slam your arm in the door. So pretend like you're training dogs. Take a towel, and wrap it around your arm so that it softens the slam. You're not really going to slam it. But then what you do is you find a door, and you're going to stick your arm in between the door and the frame. Okay? And then use your body and just lean into it with little hip check pumps. I'm not slamming it, I'm just leaning, and now on the other side my fingers are doing this. My hand is through the door, and I would do finger extension, so this is what my fingers are doing on the other side of the door as I'm leaning in, and you can also just use your knee if you want. But I would not do rotation or circles here like I would on the table, because the ulnar bone and the bones would get in the way. It's not comfortable, so don't do that. Now, to get the other arm, unfortunately, you need to find a door that opens the other way. Okay? So search around your house, see what kind of doors you have and door frames. A couple of things that you can do for tools is something called scraping, or I call it galing. It's going to increase blood flow. It increases blood flow. It breaks up some of the surface adhesions, if there are some. And you can get a spoon for it and just push down. It shouldn't hurt. I would get up by the elbow and then do long strokes all the way through. I would do my thumb pad. You can try it with or without cream. Sometimes I like to use the length of the spoon on things like my forearm and my calves. Again, it doesn't take a lot of pressure, but I will say it's more comfortable with a little bit of cream. Okay. Right. So the spoon, and I would use that again if I'm feeling like the self-massage isn't quite enough, if you feel like if you feel like you need more blood supply, yeah. Okay, then the last thing for the forearms is a massage with an iced rock or an ice cube. With that, again, you want to use some cream. Okay. Now, if you used an ice cube, you don't need any oil or any lubrication, but you do need it if you use a rock. And a rock that you put in the freezer will be nice and cold. Okay, it'll be nice and cold. This one has a nice flat edge to it. It also has a little bit more of a bump, which is a little bit more of an edge to it. And I would go long over the long bones of it. Yeah. And then more circular around the elbow. Right around the elbow for a while. And the wrist. You can get flexors and extensors. And if you were using an ice cube, one good ice cube, one size ice cube, shouldn't be plenty until you start losing it. And I would use a hand towel or something to soak up the water as I'm holding it, like. So say this is an ice cube, it's easier to see. I would hold it like this, and then as I move along with the ice cube, it picks up the water so you don't get soaking wet. Okay. This I would do at the end of your day if you are having any kind of elbow pain or wrist pain. Focus on the areas that hurt, but get the whole forearm. Often only our wrist hurts, but it's actually something going on at the elbow. Because it's such a narrow area, the wrist tends to hurt first. So definitely get up by the elbow. If you poke around up here, if your wrist hurts, poke around up here and here and see if there's tenderness. And if there is, make sure that you get ice on it. Ice rock or an ice. Okay? So that should do it for the hand and forearm self-care and self-massage. And the next thing we have are neck and shoulder self-care and self-massage.